G'day and welcome to part 5 on the XA Wagon. I think it's part 5. So I went down to the other place and did more on it. There's not much you can do really, just pulling more and more stuff off. But I kind of enjoy it. I've got to go down there. There was an electrician there yesterday and do a few more bits and pieces. In the meantime, I was warned about a guy I was buying stuff off eBay from, and a lot of people said no, don't go there, and he was good, but he has got me again. Or he's got me one time. I ordered, you know who it is because I mentioned him in the other thing. I ordered a accelerator linkage setup for the cable for X, I think XB, C, D use them, and E, and I got this. And that doesn't look really like a cable. It might be an honest mistake, but you sort of think the worst when you, when you get forewarned. Got a couple of these to paint. These are the small center steelies. They're going to be Kelly green, and just no chrome rim, nothing. Just an XA, or sorry, a Falcon 500. What do you call it? Hubcap, dog dish, whatever they call it. Anyway, I've got another snorkel one. Through, geez, I'm bad with names. The guy I bought the car from, Robbie Clifford, that's it. That's to go on my little Toyota. I replaced one of these a while ago. Never had a problem with the Daco belt, but I need to put a new one on already. Another few bits and pieces. Cleveland engine parts mainly. I've got the body for that in the garage and all that sort of stuff. Someone might be able to help me with this. That is the other thing I bought from the guy I was forewarned about. So I want to make sure that's an S-Pack one. Whoopsie, not the Fairmont gear, the second series Fairmont gears that had the Marshall lights underneath the bumper. Remember those? The Series 2 XD, if you want to call it that. I want to make sure that is for the S-Pack with the round spotties between the headlights. I was thinking about putting some of those on. I think I've got a new old stock fog light switch, driving light switch too. And of course, many thanks to Byron. Byron always looks after me. He's sent me a few things in the past, quite a few things. This is a very rusty looking, but still very good looking timing case for an Cleveland, sorry. And I'm tipping around those areas there, it's going to be great. So once that's hydroblasted, whoops, in focus, that's going to look absolutely fantastic. So we'll use that on our wagon, I think. Right, look at our calipers. They're back from hydroblasting. They feel lovely, and I've just stuck a clear on them, a metal clear. The two types, of course, they're the Fairlane, the big pin ones, this and here. These are station wagon. Now, the ones that are on the station wagon now, I'll recondition and stick them on the sedan eventually. The slides for these ones are actually all right. It's supposed to be a little... I'm going to gang a couple of O-rings in there with a washer, but I'm going to reuse those slides. I've got the kits for them. So they're looking really, really nice, aren't they? I've just got the other parts of them hanging up to dry. I do want to show you something though, which I'm not very happy about. So my problem starts with this bloke. This is the booster and master off the Outback XA that we put the roof on. And it looks stuffed. Now, my problem isn't really this booster. It's more about what people are charging for them. So, online, $800 for a Rico booster. I rang the place that did my XW. Now, my XW one is an XY one. The XY and XW are different. And it was $220 back in 10 years ago. And the last time I went there to get a booster done, I think was the XC. That had jumped to $280. And I rang them up just before about this, and they said, well, approaching $600. So if you've got to buy one of these, people are charging $250 for a core. Then you've got to go and pay an extra $600, which I have a problem with. These are just a diaphragm with some workings. But in saying that, I've never overhauled one. So to get them apart, we have to straighten out all these. take it off. I would hydroblast, because I hydroblast bloody everything. But it gives a much better finish. And put a kit in it. GD4 do sell a kit. This has been out in the country or out in the outback, and you can see it's pretty well, it's pretty stuffed. So, I've not reconditioned one, but I would like advice if anyone's done it. I can't see it being overly hard, but then I don't want to speak too soon. Right, looking at some of the plating I've got back from this new plater, I'm delighted. If you look at the finish on them, that's how stuff's supposed to be. A lot of this stuff's rusted or was rusted, which is why it's coarse. But you know, on the other side, it's a lot better than I would have expected. They would have been ones that had paint on them. That's the bonnet catch. Like, it's absolutely, it's like a new part. I can't see anything on there. Let's put the spring back on. Same with the wiper, pardon me, arms. I can't pick that from a brand new part. I'm really, really happy with it. I don't know why I put that in. But, you know, these are the bolts that were left in the engine bay, I think. There's a whole bunch of them. They're all pretty mucky. That have all been rusted. These ones are all pretty good because they were obviously protected by oil and whatnot. You know, things like headlight adjuster springs, perfect. And headlight adjuster things look pretty good. The buckets, although you can see there was surface rust in there, and it actually bit into the metal, they will be fine for what we need to do. Striker and hardware, you know, perfect. Beautiful, look at that. And the thing as well. That was off the door that wouldn't open, so I took it off. So yeah, this is all off the Wagon, I should mention. So much nicer than that yellowy crap that I was getting, and it's horrible. I really don't like it. I'm thinking about getting a lot of that stuff redone if I need it. Now this was, look at the washer jets. This was a hell of a lot cheaper than the other place. And he wired it and he unwired it, and I just picked up all this nice stuff. This is probably slightly better light. You can see how yellow these are. That's from the old plating place, and they're a big company too. Every now and then you get stuff back different colours. That's almost pink. This is much better, and the proprietor of the business that did these is, it's called the Plating Place, is Terry Lewis. There's his details there. If you want to know where I'm going to get my plating done from now on, that's the guy. It's a tricky place to find. It's on a sort of a bend, and it says, yeah, 2B 1001 Mountain Highway. You've got to look for the, if you're going toward the mountains, you've got to look for the 997 signpost, and you turn left there. Into a group of factories, and he's down on the flat part, a bit further down on the left hand side. So I am delighted with that. Now, I said before 30% cheaper, but 100% better, if you know what I mean. And he doesn't want you to wire things up, he wants to do it himself. He has a person there doing it for him, and they also just unwire it, if you know what I mean, when they're finished. So thanks very much, Terry. Well, the weather's not as nice as I hoped. I've got to mow the lawn again. Got to get into this wagon a bit more, and bought these rollers up. They're original Mustang ones for the XA, so I can take some of the Fairlane wheels home. And what was I going to do with them? Yeah, I've got to put them back on the Fairlane. Here are our cuts that we did. Now, looking at this bit here, this is a real mess. So I'm going to have to weld a brace from sort of the roof down to here somewhere, I think. I'm going to buy a new hat for that. And this A-pillar section is going to do wonderful things because it's good in the areas where that's crummy. And then of course we've got the cap, the intermediate bits rooted. What did I do with the cap for it? Yeah, where is it? Oh, here. And that's the top of the plenum. So I dare say the bottom of the plenum is affected too. No worries. that bit goes, that's the top of the plenum there. And so that whole area is just gone, and it's also affected in there. So I think that is going to do really well. Yeah, I'm having trouble with the light, but if I have to, I'll reshoot it. The other thing is I've got 6 LED fluorescent tube replacements, and I've got a Sparky coming on Monday, so we'll see how that goes cost-wise, but it should all be pretty good. I've got a few days up here and I'll go back to Melbourne. And I'm also going to pull this floor up in areas because it's no good for using a jack. In fact, I might pull the whole thing up, which is a shame. It looks nice, but it's interior vinyl. I've got the pressure washer here for the Wagon, and I will pressure wash just a bit of this to see how it comes up, because I might be able to use it in the laundry. A couple of hours to whippersnip, and then it pelted with rain, so I'm now ready to jump on the ride-on. It gets really thick up around the house. So, while it's raining, XA, I'm taking these out. I'll take that horn bracket off, and I'm taking the wiring loom out now. I'm going to do a fairlane job on this. That's knackered, that can go in the waste. I've taken the battery, other part of the battery, the bracket that holds the battery tray. I'm thinking, you know what I'm thinking, actually that's worse than I thought. But still salvageable, because the main part of the A-pillar is cool. The top hat isn't cool, but fixable. And I'm going to take the dash top off. John, my wonderful brother, bought me another one. Can I take it out? I'm just going to start taking some stuff out of here. Take this off. Hopefully there's no redbacks in there, but I'll be careful. Silicone. Oh, don't you hate that stuff? Check this out. While I was sitting here, I was sort of sitting here pondering and looking at the back of this XA. And it's knackered. That panel there is actually very, very, very good. It's just this lip here, so it goes up and folds down. I'm going to weld a new lip on it, but leave that there as a reference. Those corner bits look pretty good too. This is knackered, but it's only held on just around here and up, a couple of spotties. Other side, and there's also a bracket behind this summer gold striker plate bracket. There's a couple of, I don't know, I can't see what I'm doing there, but there's a couple of spotties there, so I'll leave that. Take this whole back off. These all have to come out too. You can buy these new. In fact, that doesn't look bad. It's just the floor underneath it. If I can salvage them, I will. If I can't, who cares? I'll just buy new ones. Because it needs a pair of these. That there and that one over there. But before, the problem is, we can get the corner bits. That's on the guard, so I have to repair this and that bit there and that bit there, as well as new guard. So I'm going to leave that. Look, it's pretty dodgy. I'm going to leave this. I mean, if it's stuffed on the inside, I'll take it out, no biggie. But I'm going to leave that there, take this out, take those corners out, leave that quarter on, whoops, over there, obviously, and start working on this. And you know what? I don't reckon, it's going to be tedious, but I've never done a rear quarter. I've never taken one off. I've got to fix a bit up here, but I don't know. I'm not frightened of it, and I probably should be. Look how ripply that is. But I'm really kind of looking forward to it. The problem is, as I was saying before, we're getting power in here. I need to make sure the power is sound. I might get a 15 amp plug put in here because I intend to weld, and a lot of it. I'll pull this floor up. There's nice concrete under that. So when the Sparky comes, I've got to take everything out of here. Condomitor and XD Falcon. Oh, there's the jacket I was looking for. That's Susie's. I got cold and had to wear a woman's jacket. Yeah, and so we can put the lights up. But I don't know. I'm just having fun just going from one to the other and just looking at stuff. I'll take all this stuff out. And I reckon power wash it, get rid of the bonnet, just power wash everything, start doing what we did with the Fairlane, getting rid of any rusty stuff. All this is dirt, we can't really see what's there, and give it a beautiful Kelly green paint job. Because I don't want to put a motor in it, then take it out, and then put it back. No, I'm just going to do it. If anyone can help me locate some, although I don't know if I'm going to be able to do column shift now, it might have to be a 4-speed. I've got a steering box for it. I've got to stop by a guy in Bannockburn, I think they call it, to get his. I've bought a Thompson, an early Thompson pump and lines, which I'll chuck in here. I've got another couple. I've got another one from Addison, and that'll go in the other XA. But I love this stuff. It's just grouse. Just been pulling a few bits out. This is in great condition. XB, by the look of the surround, I don't think XAs. I'm told XAs were smooth here anyway. This is in very good condition. Bit of a cobweb there. Look at the circuit board on the back of the instrument cluster. It's really good. I can barely read it. Field 10. Judging by that, it's empty. And the engine's cold. 47,000 miles, is it? Hang on. Oh no, this goes. Gee, hang on. Damn, this is a 6-digit, so it goes 047 047030. 47,030 miles, kilometres. But it hasn't been around the clock yet? That's nuts. Judging by that though, it looks fairly cool. I'm just taking this off. This crash pad, this is going into garbage. I got a new one for it from John. And I've got to be careful because I don't know my way around these dashes. I don't need to, I think I've just figured it out. You can see on the inside the rust where it's affected at. I'm just going to lift that off, just give me a moment. And to be expected, oh gee, you can see through there our issues. But, you know, it's totally, it looks completely unmolested in here. It doesn't look to have been, although what's this white wire for? We, famous last words, we have been molested. Well, the car, not me. Hang on a minute. Oh, okay. What's this crap? Where's that white one go? I just thought I'd take the top off because I want to take the ooh, yellow blaze. I want to take the wiring loom out. I want to have a look at it. What the hell is that doing? I didn't know how to get that out, so I'll peer down there. Yeah, I've got no idea what that is. Famous last word, someone's really dicked around with this. Let me just pop the glove box out. Somebody's put a new heater box in that says XB Falcon on it. I'm just going to take this glove box out just a moment. Okay, XB Falcon. Well, it's an XA, so that looks like it's from the wreckers many, many years ago. There's the extent of damage, which isn't insignificant. It's worse than I thought, but how does that look? I don't think it's that hard to fix. This looks different from the one I pulled apart too, because it does look a bit different. The base of the plenum looks pretty damn good though. You've got this skin going along here. Right, so the dash itself needs some repairs, which we knew. Right, so this is knackered in the same spot as the cut that we got. If you imagine, that's the plenum underneath there. I'm inclined to cut. I would like to just cut there, because I can make that bit quite easily, and then down to about there. Because I don't think that's going to be difficult to make, and otherwise I'll have to buy another cut. This bit, I mean, if we get rid of that, that's the top of the plenum, which again, I need to get that off. I need to separate these. So there's the cut, and it's knackered in the same spot. Up here, there's still got a bit of problem there, but I don't know what's behind it. So this is going to be another one where we cut it down there. This is in better shape than the sedan by a long shot, and I'm not going to take that off. I'm going to leave it there. And so what I'm thinking of doing is cutting down here, around where that line is, and then across. Taking off the top, that'll give me a bit of a look in here, which I'm assuming isn't too bad, hopefully. And then fixing the top skin as well. I don't think that's going to be the problem that it looks. I'm hopeful. And of course, when that's off, when both of those layers are off, I can fix the dash, and I'll cut that along there and just put a patch in there, I think. This A-pillar, I mean, I'm going to get a wire brush and really dig around. Yeah, there's a small hole there, and it's difficult to weld that because there's brazing around it too, but I should be able to weld that. I might drill it out and just weld it up, but I don't think it's going to be as bad to do as the sedan, and I'm not worried about the sedan either. I'm just propping my phone up in places I can try and get a view. I haven't got my, what do you call it? My tripod with me. I'm just pulling the loom out. And parts of it are sort of stuck. It's just a bit stiff, but I'll replace what I need to in the loom. I've left the dash in so I can see exactly how it fits, because I'd forgotten. But I haven't got my tripod with me, so I'm just trying to, you know, make do with the lack of tools. Well, we're making headway. And I'm actually quite pleased with what I'm finding here. Nearly there. Have a bit of a look at it. And voila. Right. With these cars, they're simple enough to work on, but still complicated enough that some people shouldn't work on them. Yes, that switch, which I thought was a kill switch, which goes into there. I don't know what that is offhand. And we've got bits of wire that have been removed. I've also got house electrical connectors, because that red with blue trace has been cut. So I've just put that in with a couple of house ones. Easy to fix. Headlights. And does this work? Still feels pretty good. Some of it though, there's a long white wire which is here that went right across the dash. Something to do with the interior lights. That wire is just off an electric light. 240 volt one. They've just unzipped the two conductors and put one in the car. Easy enough. But you know, that's a start to work with now. These wires, that one does feel a bit stiff, so I've been inclined to change it, but some of them feel really good. That white one's really good. I wouldn't change that. I just look along the length of the conductor, make sure it's not broken anywhere. But that's an easy fix. You know, I don't see anything wrong with using that again. It's all good, and you've got proprietary connectors and replacement wiring looms are over $1,000, and I haven't got $1,000 to spend on that, but I can repair what's here. Well, this sort of thing, look at this. You know, just get rid of all that. They've got a bunch of cut, looks like earths. That's a power feed by the look of it, I'm not sure. But yeah, that's something I can work with. More disassembly. Disconnects the brakes. The master cylinder seized, that or the booster, one of the two. I'm pretty sure the master. Taking the clutch thing off, thrown that out. Speedo cable I pulled out, bell housing. I was going to drop that gearbox. I just don't have a I don't have a tripod, which is a real pain. And I'll leave that in for now. And then we'll pressure wash. I don't care if they get wet. We'll pressure wash all the rest. Although we'll vacuum up that glass and everything before we pressure wash it. I'm thinking about getting the headlining out because there's bound to be rat nests up there. I'm taking all speed nuts off, you know, things like that. That has to be hammer and dollied, and I've got to make a channel in there. Do I or not? The V8s on these are narrow radiated, aren't they? I've got a 4-core one at home, but I'll use it on the sedan. Well, this gearbox just looks like one of those late 3-speed jobs I was thinking in, sort of XCs and XDs. I've just got to work out what the linkages do. Seems to do something. Yeah, it's doing something, but I just don't know where. I don't know what I'm doing. That could be neutral. That's reverse. Oh, I see. That's a forward gear. Neutral, I think. That's definitely reverse. So yeah, it looks a bit single only, but it's not a 3-speed top loader, unfortunately. So these are being fitted to 200s and 250 cubes, and also 302s in early cars. But XDs, I think 302s only came with floor shift auto or 4-speed manual. So yeah, it is something. Oil coming out of this thing's crystal clear. It looks really, really good. There's no water been in there or anything. I just tried any dog crap. Looks like it. On the plug, there's a couple of bits and pieces, but nothing major. Okay, time to clear up in here because I've made a hell of a mess. This is a Borgie. Can you see that number? So you can run that number. I'll do it when I get home and find out what the car was that it came with. So it's a Borgie on a 3-speed. Which means I might need to ring the engine reconditioner. Before I clean this up, pressure clean this, I'm just going to drop the headlining because it's bound to have rat nests and stuff, and I don't want to clean all up. I'm going to hose the thing right out, except the dash. I'm not going to do that, obviously. But this headlining is so oopsie, dry and so forth that it's going to be just easier to pull it off like that. And try not to tear it. But the thing that frightened me a little bit was when I went to take off that sun visor thing, water had got in there and it was rusted, so it could be stuffed. Yeah, there's rust under there. It's interesting how this thing's rusted. So we rusted in the B here, but not in the A. The A is pretty clean, and also down there the same as the other side. I've got one B pillar at home. I'm hoping it's this side so I can cut that bit out and weld it in. But I've got to replace both bottoms. But the A looks pretty good. The A looks very good. actually, which is unusual. Normally it's not the A pillar. Well, normally it's not the B pillar. Look at this. This is what causes rust. Copious amounts of solastic. All these dead snails everywhere too. Let's see what this has done. Oh. See, when these cars were $500 for a good running one, these that's when these sort of repairs took hold. That hasn't rusted there, which is good. It's just weird how it has, you know. Oh, it's got a bit there. It's just weird how it's gone in some places, not others yet. The usual places, and actually looks clean. Just a closed door respray by the look of it. Let's get this screwdriver and have a bit of a stab. What about there? It's flaky. That might be treatable. I'm not going to cut stuff out if I don't need to cut it out. I got sick of waiting. Uh-oh. Rats, is it? We have rats. Knew that about all the droppings. Yeah, that has to come out. Yeah, that's nest. God, they're vile things, aren't they? And I wouldn't think that'd be the only one. Now I've got to keep that as a template too. I think I left my other gloves at home. Yuck. They've chewed all the roof insulation, and that's the net result of it. At this stage I don't care. Probably should have taken note of which holes they were in. I'll work it out though. That's in the lower one. I marked them on the XW. Yeah, they've made a bit of a mess. I'll just take that hook out the other side. And I'll leave them in the headlining because I'm not going to take the back part out today. I dare say there's more damage at the back. I might take that later one out, that other one out. Rust-wise, it's pretty good. A little bit here and there, but really, comparatively speaking, not much. I decided to drop the rest of it out because it's just too many turds. Let's see if I can. Damn. I'm tearing it out from the window. I'm looking at these seals, they're pretty stuffed. I was going to try and salvage them, but they've kind of shrunk back. I don't know what the availability of those seals are. I tried to take it off in one piece, it just didn't work. Alright. I will roll this up because it's effectively, whoops, it's effectively a pattern. Let's survey the damage. So anywhere where the rats have chewed, I'm going to cut that out. But the condition of the roof overall is pretty good. The frame of it. The glass, the seals are all sunburnt. So that glass can be cut out. It's still actually pliable up here. But I'll leave it there for now. I'm not worried about that. I might take these masonite boards out and have a look behind here, eh? Yuck. Damn, this stinks. Taking these out. It looks excellent behind there. These will make good templates. And just taking out all the... I've cleaned out all in here and it opens really nicely now. All that old seal and stuff like that. But more rust in the back of the roof. So the list is getting longer. But at the moment, you know, I'm not that worried. Just means it'll take longer to finish. Right, well, I've cut out the rat infested or rat damaged insulation. Those bits there will probably just drop it anyway. And I've given it another vac so we can hose this out. I've also taken the bolts out. There's one underneath the filler hose and there's one there that sort of bent in a bit. I didn't know if this was original or not, so I took it off. And is that part of a stop sign, or I don't know what that is. I'm just sort of taking bits off here, and I'm sort of amazed, you know, that some of these parts, like under here, still looks good. It'll need a skin, I would think. I'm not happy with this. I'm not keeping that. That's been cut and I don't want it. But let's get the vacuum cleaner and give this a bit of a squizzy. Oh, this had a false bin in it, didn't it? Let me just vac it out a bit. Those torsion springs are working alright. I'm going to have to bail now. I've had an electrician out repairing things. This looks alright. The patch. Check this out. Nice bit of bog. Directly over the pop riveted patch. It went a thing like that. Hang on, we're going to make it so we can't see where we've been. You get the picture. So, look, it's belted in there. It's backed into something. And a bit of crap here. So look, I'm going to do the whole skin anyway. Even though it's actually not bad. It's just gone in there. So, is that the frame as well? No, that's just the skin. So, I'll put a new skin on the back. That's probably the easiest way of doing it. But that's it for now. I'm not going to wash it today. I'll wash it next time. This is what happens when you're an idiot. I've got these ready to pack. There for the XA, the wagon. But when you lose track of what you're doing, you do one black and you play one. So I'll just get that replated. Because ultimately it's the best corrosion resistance. Plus I don't want to paint over that. It looks too nice. Okay, just to digress a little bit, that is the left-hand pillar. So I can take a cut out of here for our wagon. This is also healthy down the bottom. I need two though, or at least I need to plate it or do something. I've got to think about that. And I might actually, when I cut it off the car, just have some steel on the inside as well, just to give it a bit more strength. But that's great. Let's have a look at this Kelly green caper. We're getting well and truly ahead of ourselves, because here I am painting wheels. How the hell did I get that off? And nowhere near. Haven't even started doing anything to the car yet. Oh, it doesn't matter. Sometimes when you do a car up, it's not a bad idea just to do little subsystems, little bits and pieces here and there. It keeps the enthusiasm up. I'm pretty enthusiastic anyway, but let's have a look at this. Now, my favourite colour is Holden Lime Green Metallic, which is what they used on LJ Tirana's. This stick's dirty, but she'll be right. But this is not bad. That is beautiful. So I'm just going to do a little scoop and stick some in a jar and sort of reduce it. I just want to throw some on the wheels to have a look. God damn, that is stunning. Oh my goodness. My favourite colour, green. Just a moment. About that much? I've already reduced it, but it just seemed a little bit thick. That's probably not a bad place to start. Let's go and load the gun. Just throw a bit on and see what happens, eh? Where's the lid for that? Alright. I gave it a bit of a hose. She'll be right. She'll be right is what Dad used to say all the time. When I was young. Ah, she'll be right. Gotta love the guy. Right, she will be right. Let's go and have a play. Oh, we've got rain for the next couple of days. I might as well do this. What was I going to say? Oh, the lime green, the Holden colour. When I first put that on, it almost came out yellow. Which that doesn't, it's green straight away. Alright, let me just brush a bit down here. Nice colour. Looks friggin' spiffy. Just give it a little splash to start with. And damn, battery tray. Turn that pressure down a little bit. I just feel like I've got more control if the pressure's down just a tiny bit. Now, I've got to get underneath. But I want the top of the ring. I want to be able to see the green where the tyre is. And also down in those areas there. I can do my little random coat after to make sure it's all covered, and I'll mask that from behind when I'm finished. A bit more pressure. What do you reckon, ladies and gents? Uh-oh. Just hit it somewhere. What do you think? Kelly green. I think it's a gorgeous colour. It's a tiny bit, but it's a tiny, like half a shade lower than the Holden one. I've got a run in there. But you don't see that, that's under the scuttle. Now, what I'm doing with these, I'm being very careful to get paint down in those little grooves because we see them. What we're going to do is I'm going to mask it from behind and just use black jam on the back side of it, satin or glass, doesn't matter. And the same just down here. There's the battery tray. Battery tray looks schmick. So I just want to get a few sort of items in that colour. But I mean, I like the colour of the Fairlane, but I prefer this. I think the 70s had some of the nicest, most gorgeous colours. Anyway, that being said, thanks very much for watching. Take good care of yourselves. Hang on. No. I got it wrong. Take good care of yourselves, enjoy Classic, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye. I'm going to go really slowly because the grass is so wet. Show you a tree, I don't know what it is. If anyone watching this knows, I'd bring you to tell me. It's so bloody thick. I reckon it's going to rain again. It's this tree here, it's an apple tree. That's all I know about it. There's a stop next to it. And it has the sweetest, most beautiful apples, but I have no idea what type it is. I want to get another one. Can anyone help me? You know what it is? Never tasted apples like it. Well, that's a bit better. That's a good little mower. Bit of a weird mowing pattern, but to do it properly, it actually takes 2 hours to whippersnip here. Just around everything. And I forgot to do that tree and the clothesline, but the rest of it I whippersnipped and it looked pretty good. I'm going to pop these here for a second. Now, the plan, I've got a big plan. The shed joint that did this shed charged 23 grand a couple of years ago, and it's nice, but I don't think it's worth 23 grand. And the same mob came out to quote putting that wall to the edge of this garaport thing, sort of carport thing, and then a door and the sides on. He wanted 5 grand. And that wasn't even, no, that was without the door, just 5 grand to move that wall, which is stupid because you're not changing structure, you're just moving it out to here. Now, there's another joint. I want to put a double, like a lean-to, maybe out from the back of the shed to here. 2 more cars, 3, 4, and maybe a double carport there. Can't afford it at the moment, of course, because I suffer from zero dosh. But that way the kids can park their cars or anyone visiting, and I'll have a double door, but a lot more storage room, because that single door is so stupid. I mean, it's good if it's a machinery shed or a small machinery shed, you know, lawn mowers and stuff, you can get around in there, but full-size cars, like the Commodore, is on an angle and it's right up against the wall at the front, and you can see, and just getting the XD in there, there's a load of wasted space. So I want to be able to access it and turn around, if you know what I mean. That way you can do almost 4 cars abreast. But maybe only 3. I want a proper workshop area anyhow. But I'm very pleased. I'm very lucky to have this, and there's a concrete around the corner. I want this concrete here, as well as under any lean-tos that I build in the future. I've just got to do the nature strip now, and we should be golden. And the X's lawn too. That's good, doesn't it? When you got a half acre of lawn, it looks fantastic, but gee, it takes a long time to maintain it. Sweet.